Greetings, everyone on the digital grid and on the radio. If you're listening to this on SciFiction Radio and iHeartRadio, Subspace Radio Network, it's episode 68. Tonight, we're going to have an amazing time talking about all kind of sci fiction and science fiction updates. We also have our video game correspondent, Mr. Frank Reed, on the horn here in the back burner. We're going to bring him on shortly. We will be March 1st to the 3rd on the Gulf Coast in Biloxi, Mississippi at CoastCon. Mississippi Gulf Coast, largest science fiction, fantasy, and gaming convention. So if you're in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area near Biloxi, feel free to, or Gulfport or anywhere near there, feel free to join us March 1st to the 3rd at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum, March 1st to the 3rd in Biloxi, Mississippi for CoastCon. And we're looking forward to that. I have a lot of good friends down there. I'd like to shout out to our friends at the Week in Geek radio show on WRNO 99.5. Also like to shout out to the Federation and our good friend Vice Admiral Randolph Allen of the Federation. Our friends at Star Trek affiliates down there. I believe there's one of the Star Trek chapters down there. Our good friend Derek Dykes, I believe he'll be down there. We've got a lot of great guests. We'll bring that on here shortly. On the back burner, we have Frank Reed. He will be joining us at CoastCon in Biloxi, Mississippi, March 1st to the 3rd as well. Let's bring him on. How you doing, Frank? Woo!
What's up, everybody? Good to see you.
Doing good. We're talking about CoastCon. You excited?
Man, I'm super excited. Excited.
A lot of good stuff. They have their headliner guest here. Let me bring up their guest list here. We just got that on the horn here. So what you been up to, man?
Doing a little bit of gaming. Caught up with some of the Expanse, the game and the series.
Okay.
I've been putting in a little bit of time to see about some games dropping this month, give people a little bit of information on that. Mm-hmm. And let everybody know, what I've been playing, what you've been playing as well.
For sure.
And where we're at on everything.
Can't beat that. We're going to bring out CoastCon here.
After the expo in New Orleans, man, I am stoked to go to the one in Biloxi.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. We'll be doing some more stuff here. I got some exciting news to share for CoastCon first. We've got March 1st to the 3rd. They have a lot of cool. They even have a miniature gaming painting contest. It's pretty dope. They got all kind of goodies, costume contests. The 46th year, approaching the 50th year in a few years. I can't wait for that. This is going to be awesome. They got a massive Gulf Coast gaming event. So they got a massive plethora of games and miniatures and board games you can play down there. That's the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum and Convention Center is down there. You're going to have also, there's going to be art sales in addition, and I believe there's usually an art auction. Here's some of their guests. You've got, let's load this up here. You have, let's see, I believe that is, hold on a second. There you go. That's Jake Stormon. He's from like Mythica and the Outpost series, I believe. There's Shane Hensley, amazing right there. You've got CoastCon 46X, Max Gladstone. Some of these are authors and artists in the science fiction fantasy genre. You got Mike and Tiffany Brown, and it's going to be March 1st that there's a whole bunch of other guests. If you want to find out more, go to coastcon.org. And if you want to be a vendor or gaming panels, whatever you want to take part in, they'll be all there all weekend long, March 1st through the 3rd, 2024 in Biloxi, Mississippi. I recommend joining, coming down there for that event. We're going to be having a lot of fun. We're going to be down there covering, and Frank will be there as well.
That's right. Looking forward to it.
They also have games there too, by the way. So there's usually they have a simulation of like you're on the bridge of the Enterprise. A really cool thing that the Star Trek group does down there. They have a lot of miniature and board games. So if you're in the miniatures, think from Magic, Dungeons and Dragons, Warhammer 40,000K, anything and everything, they have it.
Those are fantastic. There's a plethora of games for Warhammer. I mean, PC.
Oh, they got some great stuff down there. It's amazing. They have a miniature contest. We paint the miniatures.
I believe that's where it originally derived from was the board games.
Yes, 40K board game. They also have a digital video game now. It's a huge franchise. Yep. What kind of stuff are you looking for? So we're going to be working on getting you down there to Comic-Con too in San Diego. We will be coming down there as Full Access Press to San Diego Comic-Con in July for that. And then after that, I think we're going to go to STLV 58-year mission. There's a few others in between that, before and after, some filming things. There's all kind of stuff. We're kind of mapping out the lay of the land for this next 6 to 12 months. A lot of goodies. We're also working for radio guests as well as people to come on to talk about their projects. So if you're a radio or need to be on the radio to promote your projects, if you're a comic book artist doing some cool sci-fi comics, or if you're an actor, or if you're a writer or producer or whatever you're doing, feel free to hit us up. Just message us on Facebook at SciFiction.com. That is right down here. If you're watching this on the live stream, that's Facebook, SciFiction.com. We're also on Twitter and TikTok at SciFiction. And please follow our YouTube channel, please. Please. At SciFiction Official, all together. We're getting ready to port a lot of video content onto there. We're trying to build the numbers on there. We've got pretty decent numbers on Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Working on getting the YouTube up next. But Frank, you got some video game updates. Can you go up some of the video games that you've been going through?
Yeah, so this month there's actually a lot of games dropping. There's some really good ones. Helldivers 2 is out. It is absolutely epic. People are going nuts over it. Really good game. I've been into the Expanse. I just finished episode 1
Oh, nice.
on the game. I'm in I think episode 4 or 5 in the actual
The Telltale
show.
series game?
Yeah, the Telltale series game. It's amazing. The end of it, the end of episode 1. So you're on the Artemis. You have Cox and Drummer. Cox as captain,
right?
And so they have their little deal where Cox is always like, oh, we're gonna go to this place. There's all this treasure. It's unbelievable amounts of treasure. So they found this ship that was blown to pieces out in space. They go over there to it. And coming to find out,
it was all derelict too, like all the torn apart the big time.
Yes, and the crew members are. Well, I'll just let you guys go play the game, but yeah, they are headless. Some of them took their own lives.
Space pirates.
Yeah, the pirates got to them. It was so bad. Some of them took their own lives rather than die at the fate of the hands of the pirates.
They'll get you every time, man.
Yeah, and it's creepy. I mean, it's deep, dark space. I mean, if it doesn't make your hair stand up, not much will. Maybe you play Phasmophobia or something. I don't know. Something scarier. But so Drummer goes and finds this key on the captain of that vessel and unlocks a locker. She sends there's a chip in there that's got data on it, so she scans it, sends it back to Cox on the Artemis.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what's in it, but apparently there's some instructions there on some loot, because these are scavengers. So they're out looking for their next big find or whatever, of riches or anything that's worth of value out in space on other ships or whatever they can get their hands on. So Drummer makes her way back to the Artemis. Right before she gets there, Cox tells her, hey, we got a fuse coupler that's bad by one of the thrusters. Sends her back there. So you as a character, you're walking in space. You're on a spacewalk. You can control thrusters and your gravity boots, everything. You got full control of it. You can walk, all around the Artemis, take a look at it. Really good graphics. You get back there to the thrusters, and all of a sudden Cox kicks the thrusters on. Tries to kill Drummer. She hangs on for dear life, gets back in the vessel, and then as, the typical Telltale series type games, you get to make choices what you say as far as dialogue goes. You can choose
choose what you're ending or whatever, right?
Yeah. So eventually, he gets thrown. You can throw him into he gets thrown into an airlock, and then from there, you can either kill Cox or you can throw him in the brig. He starts begging for his life in the airlock and swearing up and down. He admits that he tried to kill her. He starts swearing up and down that whatever apparently was on that disc that she scanned and sent the information back to, that he pulled up on the screens on the Artemis on their interface. He found out there was this massive find or treasure that they could get into, and so he was going to kill her and keep it all for himself. So he tells her, "Hey, I know you won't make it with these pirates." So when he does engage the thrusters, he does not put them on like a hidden mode where they can't be seen. So pirates start get after them. And then the very last part of the episode is they actually hide in a debris field from another ship that had exploded from the other UN vessels being in a fight in that area. One of the shipmates, she remembers through her studies that there was a battle there at one time. So they found some asteroid clusters and some actual wreckage, and they hide the Artemis in there and are able to escape the pirates. But there's a little bit of a scene in the end of it where there's a little bit of a firefight that engages between the pirates and the Artemis, and you get to see how some of the ship's weapons work and things like that. So it's super awesome. I mean, it is a little. I'd say it's a little different than watching the series. Now that I've gotten into the series, which I thank you for introducing me to it. It is a little bit. It's a little bit of a side story, but it's the characters are amazing. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying the game, so I've put in some hours with that. I believe there's about 5 episodes total. I've got about maybe 4 or 5 hours in the first one, so I'm expecting it's maybe like a 30-hour game. It was like $25 on the PlayStation Store. If you're interested in it, definitely check it out.
Check it out. I feel like the experience for sure.
Yeah, fantastic game. So that's what I've been playing. If you like, I'd get into some of the ones that are going to drop this month or have.
Yeah, go ahead. I want to hear this. Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII. As you know, I'm a huge fan. I have the remake that I showed you. They have Rebirth coming out this month, which is a whole different game. It's same amazing graphics and everything. And as far as I'm concerned, probably a lot of other Final Fantasy fans, they can make as many Final Fantasy VIIs as they want. We will not complain. So that game comes out, I believe, on the 29th. It's going to be on PS5 and PC platforms. Should be amazing. Another game that's going to be coming out on PC and PS5 is Pacific Drive.
I've heard of this, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of sci-fi, Silent Hill meets like psychedelic hippie kind of thing. You're in the old station wagon. One of the tasks in the game is you have to keep the station wagon running and keep upgrading it so that it stays running. There's all kind of I guess you say supernatural things that are occurring. Like I said, imagine Silent Hill meeting Resident Evil meeting a psychedelic type.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, it looks really cool. The graphics look really cool. It looks scary as can be. Interactive environments, lots of places to go, things to see on that. That's one coming out. There's another one. I don't know if you know how good it's going to be, or it may not. Maybe for people that are kind of more into the genre, the comic books and things. There is going to be a Suicide Squad Justice League coming out. So all the characters are going to be fighting each other, and that kind of.
So is it kind of like Injustice or Injustice 2, or?
Yeah, it'd be like a third-person shooter type game. Oh, wow. I'm not sure how good it's going to be or anything like that.
So it's like a little more like a shooter instead of like a Mortal Kombat style game, which actually
yes. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more like you've got levels, kind of open world levels, run around, do stuff, interact with the other characters. I watched a couple minutes of the gameplay. I mean, it looks decent. If you're into that, definitely check it out.
That's called Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, and it is the Kill the Justice League.
Okay,
is the actual title of it. So,
Kill the Justice League. When's that come out exactly? Do you know?
This month, I think maybe it may just come out on like the 16th or somewhere in there, if I remember correctly.
All right.
That one is going to be on PS5.
Okay.
Now, the other thing that's going to be on PC and PS5 that has dropped, like I said, is the Helldivers 2.
Yes.
It's co-op multiplayer. You're fighting these bugs. It's kind of like Starship Troopers. Meets God of War kind of thing. Nice. The graphics look really cool. The gameplay is smooth as butter, and people are raving about it.
It's not only good gameplay; it's smooth as butter.
Yes, smooth as butter. Yes, that's right. The other game that's coming out is going to be a Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered.
Really?
It is going to be. The old graphics. I mean, you look at the PS1 back in
like pixelated polygon. It's old school stuff.
It's almost unbearable to today's standards. But I mean, the gameplay is there, and everybody needs to remember that. Yeah, Lara Croft. She did come from the '90s. No. She didn't always look as good as she does now. So there's that. They did redo it. It does look better, but it still reminds you that hey, this game came from the '90s. I mean, it is. They didn't completely redo it where it's this graphically. Enhanced, super enhanced game. They did enhance the graphics. It's a lot smoother. The rendering's a lot better. There's a lot less pixelation, things like that.
So it's more modernized, but still keeps the original gameplay and all the stuff.
Absolutely. Laura looks as amazing as ever, and she's kicking ass like she always does. And that's going to be Tomb Raider 1 through 3. That's going to be, I believe, on the PS5 as well. And the PC. So
very cool.
Those are some games that are coming out and dropping. I think the biggest one this month, though, is going to be the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. That's huge. I mean, that is those are always huge titles when they launch. I think that's going to be the one to really look for, and that's coming out on the 29th.
You said there's some stuff with zombies too, I believe, right?
There's some updates here and there with Call of Duty. I was on that earlier. They've added a few different little maps and multiplayer and whatnot. In the zombie modes, like I said, they're supposed to be adding some person versus person, kind of changing it up. Right now, it's still It's kind of like a mixture between the old Outbreak from Call of Duty Cold War,
That was
Outbreak Zombies. It's kind of like a mixture of that and just a giant multiplayer map, where everybody's working together. So it's definitely a lot more advanced than Cold War Zombies, but you do have the bosses in there. You have the worms and things like that. It's a pretty good game. The glitches aren't nearly as bad as they were when it first came out. I think it's playing a lot smoother. It's running a lot smoother. I've got it on the Alienware, and I've also got it on the PS5. So,
speaking of simulators on computers, you had something cool you started playing recently. Tell everybody about that.
I do. This is quite a surprise. So, Dune 2, as we know, is coming out on March 1st. So, if you're a flight enthusiast like I am, and you like flight simulators, this is the biggest treat that you could possibly get. If you're a Dune fan as well, and it is a free download. You can get the Ornithopter, and it has all the switches, all the buttons, just like what's in the one in the movie.
That's sick.
Both doors open and close. You can fold the wings. It does have the afterburners on it. It flies about 500 knots with the landing gear up.
Plus, you have Arrakis as one of the maps you can play, right?
Yeah, I haven't got into that yet. Yeah, apparently, that's something you can fly around on. I've just been kind of flying around my local area, pretending that I'm in an ornithopter and getting groceries. But, it's a lot of fun. The thing does about 500 knots plus, so it is pretty quick. The flight characteristics are just like you'd expect in the movie. It does have a hover mode where and the sounds are very legitimate. You can hit the hover button and it'll stop it in midair and start hovering. You've got an increased throttle, decreased throttle. And you've got afterburners. I think it maxes out around 31,000 feet. Oh, wow. So it's a pretty cool aircraft. I mean, if it were real, it'd be the equivalent of like an F-18 or something. It'd be pretty awesome.
Well, what do you got Dune 2's coming out March 1st. What are you looking forward to? What kind of stuff are you looking forward with that?
I'm counting down the days, almost the hours, man. I mean, for where it's picking up from Dune 1, I'm expecting a lot more. I mean, there's going to be a lot more interaction with the Freeman, obviously, since Paul is out there with them now, and
long live the fighters.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking to see the Harkonians get their ass kicked again. Hopefully,
Josh Brolin's character is playing Gurney. Kicks
hopefully we're going to get to see some more Harkonians. Get what they deserve. I know House Batista involved in it. Yeah. Obviously, sandworm action, which we all like that. So,
but you got Christopher Walken's playing Emperor Shaddam the Fourth.
Yeah, I saw that. That's going to be really something good to look forward to. I was sad that Jason Momoa, got killed off in the first one.
What happened in the first movie and in the book with he was the guy that gets killed in the hallway in the David Lynch film, where his shield got pierced and he died in the end.
That's exactly right. Yep, shield got pierced, and he sacrificed himself so that the family could escape. So, and that was how Paul and his mother ended up out in the desert with the ornithopter and made it through the storm and crashed and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think it's one of the best sci-fi series. Next to Star Trek and Star Wars. I mean, it's been around as long as Star Wars.
Star Wars, you got a lot of news on that. They're actually going to be doing several movies. I think Dave Filoni's doing a Mandalorian and Grogu movie. There's also other Star Wars topics coming up. You've got, for video games, Battlefront 1 and 2 are getting a remaster.
You heard about I saw that. I didn't see that.
Pretty cool. Get some content on the side on that. And a lot of stuff going on in the Star Wars universe. Also got Skeleton Crew to be launched. I'm hoping it looks like they're going to be doing some more shows, some more movies, graphic. There's a whole bunch of Star Wars stuff coming. And as for Star Trek, I don't know what they've got in the pipeline. I know the last thing they had that was on television I saw was Strange New Worlds cliffhanger. I was really hoping they could open that next episode. I want to see what happens in the action-packed battle sequence. And
Absolutely.
Then Star Wars can have, of course, new shows, big and better, awesome stuff. Always pumping out the goodies. And I think they're going to be doing maybe a Battlestar Galactica, like new continuation or reboot or something like that.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Our friends at Interfleet Broadcasting, I'll know about that. Mr. New York Pete and Chris Tipsy Toaster. We'll have to get them back on and talk about all the goodies, including Battlestar. Oh, you need to talk to those guys, Frank. You come in with those guys sometime. They run the Interfleet Broadcasting, which is like the Battlestar Galactica and Sci-Fi broadcasting channel, and those guys are awesome.
Okay.
We'll bring on a round table there and geek out one day. When he gets this thing hooked up, we can play some Battlestar Galactica Deadlock or something like that.
I would be very down for that.
Very cool, yeah. Well, we got a lot of stuff going on with that. But she said there's some other gaming news too, right?
Yeah. So some of the things I've been playing through, just tell people about it. If you only got so many hours in the day, I spread myself
For
kind
sure.
of thin, playing multiple games
Right.
on multiple platforms. I'm on PC, I'm on Switch, and I'm on PS5.
Mhm.
And I still have a life outside of that. So, I do kind of spread myself thin, but I try to get, as much time in to play and to give people,
For sure.
good information and good insight as to what these games are about. So, you go spend your hard-earned money on it. You know what you're getting into, or you may want to avoid this one and buy another one. One of them that I've been into, I've been playing on PC, is Mortal Kombat 11. I've been playing through the story mode, which is incredible. There is a time warp merger where the past and the future, or I mean the past and then the current time.
Present, something like that, right?
Yeah, they actually they come together. So where Raiden was actually like a defender of Earth, he's bad and it turns bad in one of them. Liu Kang is bad. Katana is bad, and it goes back to where Raiden and Liu Kang were. I guess you'd say they were allies.
Right.
You've got Goro, I believe is his name.
Goro is awesome.
Yeah, your 6 arms, whatever that guy. So they were trying to put him on trial. Koda Khan was they were trying to try him. So they had this crazy wheel thing. If he gets his arms on anything, he just destroys it.
Right.
He looked weak as could be. I guess they had him locked up somewhere. But he had this giant wheel around his neck with 8 people hold these bars. And so he was able to escape. So now Goro is back on the loose. All the characters and stuff in the movie or in the game, or it's follows kind of I guess some of the timelines of maybe some of the movies that have come out. Sonya Blade has a daughter. It starts off with that. You're playing as her character, and
Luke Cage has a daughter in there as well, right?
Yeah, well, that's her name, or that's who it is. Yeah. So, Cassandra Cage, I believe, is what her name is. Anyway, she is fighting on the same side as her mother, obviously, and her mother gets killed in the morning of one of your missions. In the morning that afternoon, her mom comes back as the old her, and she's her age.
Wow!
So I mean, you talk
time
about
travel. Whatever Luke good is.
Yeah, just mind-boggling. You got to wrap your mind around it. It takes a minute when you start seeing the characters popping up and they're allied with who they used to be allied with versus who they are now, where they're evil and they're not. They're against Earth or whatever. I mean, it's really cool. I've got about 3 or 4 hours into it, I guess now, and I'm looking forward to playing through more. And that's just the story mode. I mean, obviously, there's just the original arcade mode where you just go up on a tier system and fight characters to get to the boss or the harder ones. But the story mode really captured my attention. Very fantastic.
What was that Star Wars game we were playing the other day where we're hopping around and ATSTs and Rainbow?
That is the Star Wars. What was that? Demolition, I believe.
Demolition. That game was awesome. Little older game, but still a good game.
Yeah, PS1. That's back in the day. So
it's on Switch or what's this was on?
That was on PS5 back in. I got it off the PlayStation Store.
Very cool.
So if you're interested in that, you can go on the PlayStation Store. There's probably 8 Star Wars games you can pull off there for free, and then there's obviously ones you can pay for that are a little bit more premium. So that was just one of the older ones from PlayStation 1 that they have on there for free. So
what are some of the other favorite Star Wars games on PS?
Mortal Kombat 11. The graphics, if you've got a built computer system, the graphics are incredible. I think I sent you some screenshots and stuff of it. You're kind of blown away. The gameplay is incredible.
Awesome.
All the combos are there. When you do get into the fight sequences, you can interact with the levels, smash people's heads into stuff, and, throw things, skewer people. Right. The finishing moves are just as awesome as they've always been. So if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. The Star Wars games, there's so many of those. What are some of the ones you recommend for the I know you play a lot of Nintendo Switch as well, or games in general?
Star Wars The Commander, or that one it's a first-person shooter, but you're with a squad of 4. And so they're AI, and you have to revive them. You revive each other back and forth. It's pretty tough. I mean, it's not an easy game, but it is a lot of fun. I definitely recommend that one on Switch.
What about there was a game we were playing? It was like this guy drew that cartoon. It was like a card game. What was that?
That I was going to get to that one. Art of Rally. There's
Yes.
one guy, I believe he designed that in Pure Drift, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
They're on cartridge for Nintendo Switch, and it is literally like a hand drawn cartoon. The physics of it are super cool. It's like whenever you're playing with your little cars when you're a kid, how you drift them around and whatnot. This has that
Micro
same.
machines or something like that.
Yeah, it's super cool. You move up through the ranks. It starts off. You're in like the rallies back in the late '60s, early '70s,
Okay.
and you advance up through the years and obviously get faster cars and more
Right.
more liveries for the cars. You can get different graphics on them and everything like that. The levels are interactive. Puddles, mud, trees, everything. You can smack into anything.
Yeah, the game looked gorgeous when we were playing it.
Yeah, very very cool game. Definitely, if you're into any type of racing. That's really your genre. I definitely recommend that for Switch. And then the drift game that as well is a lot of fun. It's just you're constantly drifting around, and it's a really cool game. The physics engine in it is what makes it fun, and then obviously the cartoon graphics that look just like you said, a hand drawn cartoon. So,
You mentioned this guy we've been following. It's called Skibbity. Tell us a little bit about that.
Scifi tour. Yeah. So started off as a joke, and and now he's got 38.2 million.
Infinity million followers.
Yeah, subscribers.
Stuff I've ever seen.
Start off with episode 1, and it is on episode 70 now.
70 something, right?
Yeah, 70. It's episode
3 or
70.
4 or something like that.
Yeah, part 3. I think it's one guy that writes it all.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a certain graphics engine and everything, and he writes it in. He does all the dialogue and everything, for the skibbities, and you've got Titan Speaker Man, Titan Cameraman,
Titan UFO.
Yeah, well, yeah, the skibbity is the one that's the most powerful, but it's getting pretty interesting now. You got one of the cameramen. He's apparently was a spy or something, and got with the one of the creators of the skibbities, and
then he get clipped or something.
Little Speaker Man did.
Little Speaker Man.
Yeah, the smaller Speaker Man. The Titan Cameraman, Titan TV Man, and Titan Speaker Man. They're still up and going, and they're upgrading each other and things.
They broke into the Relics lab too and got the jetpack and this Titan Speaker Man.
Yeah, it appears that the Skibbity's origin is Russian.
Yeah.
So all the paperwork and everything in there for the Skibbities was in Russian, but
they turned into like hybrids.
I mean, that's something. If you guys like a mixture of anime and action and just something super unique, go start on episode 1, and by the time you get to episode 30, you'll have an appreciation for this guy.
Now, where do they go on YouTube to find it? Where is it at?
Defuk Boom is the guy that's on. It's a channel on YouTube.
How do you spell it?
It's DAFUQ BOOM or something like that. I think is how you say it.
For 37 million followers.
38 point something million subscribers.
Golly.
I mean, within minutes of the videos being up, they all have like 3-4 million views.
They're amazing. They're addictively good to watch, and they're fun, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. There's no agendas in it or anything like that. It's just
straightforward, hilarious, just very clever, very creative fun.
Yeah, there's camaraderie in it. There's suspense in it. There's drama. There's sympathy and lack thereof in it. And it's good fun. And it's kind of funny. I mean, when you first start watching it.
It is, but I mean, you can see how they work together in the game. It's just
you got these heads popping out of a toilet going skibbity dop dop, yes, skibbity dop. I mean, it's like, what in the world?
Whatever is left of those humans is somewhere in that toilet.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. They're running around with a bunch of plungers that look like maces, whacking these things and flushing them down the toilets, and just tons of action stuff blowing up everywhere.
But it's really sci-fi too, if you think about it. It's got laser beams and
it's like Call of Duty meets anime meets sci-fi meets this very unique set of characters.
It's like its own universe, basically.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely its own place and time. It's very very cool stuff.
Any new TV shows or movies beyond that you're looking forward to, beyond Dune and any other stuff upcoming?
I've gotten into Battlefield 5 a little bit. I was going to tell people right now, if you're into the Battlefield series, if you're on the PS5 or on the PlayStation, I believe it's the PlayStation Store right now. If you get the definitive edition,
Yes.
it's only a couple of dollars. It's like 90% off.
Oh, wow.
It's a really good game to pick up right now. I've been playing that with a couple of friends, playing the multiplayer and stuff on it. You can get tanks, planes, artillery, anything that you want to get into, AA guns, lots of cool weapons, all World War II stuff. If you're into stuff that's, pretty much historically correct, it's got all the places where the battles took place, all the weapons, the vehicles, things like that. It's a good shooting game. Graphics are really good. Gameplay's solid, and for it being, I just happened to catch it a couple of weeks ago. It was like 90% off. I was like, shoot, why not?
But you gotta was that Nintendo Store or which one was that?
No, PlayStation Store.
Gotcha.
So I've been playing that some multiplayer with friends. I got a couple buddies picked it up. We've been playing it. The Expanse, which I just talked about. I've been playing through it. I know I'm probably late. I'm sure there's a lot of people gonna rag on me for this, but I did finally get into World of Tanks.
Nice.
It's good, but it is a pay to win type game. I don't like that. I would rather be skill based. But it's like some troll sitting in his parents' basement with his mom's credit card can beat you no matter how good.
Swipe.
Yeah, just it's all about buying tanks, buying upgrades, money, buying season passes, all this. It's
in-house purchases basically.
I mean, it's a cool game. I mean, it is fun. It's addictive. It's great to play with friends. I mean, it is it's very competitive, but I'm not really a huge fan of that pay to win type scenario. Not my favorite thing. Let's see the other stuff. Breath of the Wild. I'm obviously Tears of the Kingdom out. Breath of the Wild. Wow. I've got this guide for it, and I have not finished Breath of the Wild yet. But even if you're not a fan of the game and you just like a lot of Zelda art,
that's gorgeous.
This book is amazing. I picked it up for I think it was $24 on Amazon, but it is the whole guide to Breath of the Wild on the Switch. I've been playing through that, here or there when I definitely, it's one of those things when I have, a couple of hours to dedicate to playing. I go through it because it is a very extensive game. A quick shout out to a couple of my friends. Alex, they have a laser engraver. They made this really cool Zelda coaster for me. Thank you guys. I'm sure y'all will be watching this. Awesome. Retro games. I know we always talk about that. Yes, so I finally, this was a place that I went to right here. I went to the one over in Mobile.
Play and Talk. Yes, that's an amazing store on the Gulf Coast.
Yep. So that is who that is. They were very helpful, very nice people. I grabbed Shinobi for NES, which is a really cool game. Bayou Billy, it's kind of like Dungeons and Dragons meets Pitfall.
Yep.
Pretty cool game. I remember renting it as a kid. Had to grab that one. And Yoshi. So I plan on visiting. There's another Play and Talk. I plan on visiting it soon. There's another game store in Foley, I think at the outlets possibly. Mm-hmm. And then there's that one that's in downtown Foley that I want to go to. But I'll go to those, and obviously I'll give them some recognition whenever I do go and check them out. So as far as other retro games, I know played some Double Dragon 2. I think you and I both hit that up off the Switch. So the NES or the Switch store, if you get the retro stuff like the NES and the Super NES,
everything, Double Dragon, you name it.
Kirby. Yep, that's now available in there, and that's a really fun game. But yeah, man, that's about all I have right now as far as retro stuff and what I've been playing. I mean, I've been in Art of Rally, World of Tanks, The Expanse, Battlefield 5, playing the flight sim with the Ornithopter. Playing, Mortal Kombat 11. I did play a little bit of Killer Instinct on PC. Mm-hmm. I was able.
We got to get you a video you playing that Thornicopter for Windows.
Absolutely.
Do a little short article about that. That'd be pretty dope. I like people to see that.
Yeah. So the Alienware and also through Steam has an interface where you can use the PS5 controllers.
Really, for the computer.
I was able to get that working. So playing Killer Instinct and Mortal Kombat, that was absolutely clutch.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to be down here for people joining us. My name is Owen Cotter. You're watching SciFiction and listening to SciFiction Radio on iHeartRadio Subspace Radio Network. It's episode 68. We're joined here with Mr. Frank Reed, our gaming correspondent. We will be down in Biloxi, Mississippi, March 1st to the 3rd for CoastCon. It's 40, coming up on 50. It's 40, late 40s, 6, 7, 8, something like that. It's going to be March 1st to the 3rd, coastcon.org, I believe, is their website if you want to find out more about their guest lineup and all the stuff's going on with that. We will be down there all weekend long. We're looking forward to maybe breaking off late one evening and going to see Dune 2.
Absolutely.
In the theater down there and having some fun. If you're in the Mississippi Gulf Coast area and near Biloxi or Gulfport, feel free to come down. If you like miniature games, sci-fi, fantasy, anything and everything, they're going to have everything from cosplay contests to art auctions to gaming to panels to sci-fi to anything. It's going to be amazing. There's a big vendors hall with all kind of goodies and sci-fi, fantasy, gaming goodies. So come down March 1st to the 3rd to CoastCon at the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum. We'll be down there all weekend long. We're also going to be doing some other events. March is that one. I think April, May, we do some stuff, and then maybe June. Waiting to hear back on some things. We're definitely trying to. We're going to be going as press to San Diego Comic-Con. See if Frank can join us there as well. And after that, STLV 58-year mission in Las Vegas, Nevada. Probably a whole bunch of stuff after that, before that too. We're kind of getting, like we said, the lay of the land and everything. Is there any updates or any other things you like to shout out to, like on where people can find out about the video game stuff, or any resources that you would recommend checking out?
I did forget to mention the Halo series that's out right now.
Oh, I want to hear that. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Go ahead.
Season 1 is done. Season 2 is out right now. Every Thursday, there's a new episode dropping. Yes. I believe tomorrow is going to be episode 4, I believe, for season 2.
Like that, yeah.
I've been writing. I've got reviews and summaries up for the first 2 episodes. I'm going to be working on the episode 3 and episode 4 here. I should have that out.
Pumping those out on
SciFiction. Should be by the weekend. That should be up for you guys if you just want a little summary of it. Yep. The episodes are about an hour long, so I just write a paragraph or 2 about them and just kind of summarize it up for everybody.
They're basically doing I believe, the fall of Reach, right?
That's where it's headed to. Yeah. The Covenant have made it to Reach. They made it to Sanctuary. They're glassing the planet. I mean, it's definitely not looking good.
Action-packed goodness, Master.
Yeah. And so even Cortana makes a prediction. I think it was like 97% that it's going to come out with a negative outcome. As far as the battle with the Covenant. So, Master Chief has his work cut out for him.
For people watching, we're talking about the new Halo Season 2. The Cortana is the AI assistant, right?
Yeah, and she's now removed from Master Chief, and he's starting to realize that something's wrong, something's missing. She's been removed from him for about 6 months, and as people know, they used to kind of have a relationship together. So,
what do you think the next? Do you think they'll return her to him to fight in the combat zone, or?
I wouldn't be surprised. You sound like you might have a good recipe there for success.
We may have some goodies also coming to the site. Stay tuned, maybe pertaining to Halo, as well as Frank's updates and summaries of the episodes. We'll be bringing you lots more content. We've got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to be pouring over. If you have not followed us on YouTube, go to @SciFiction Official, all together, one word. That again is @SciFiction Official on YouTube. We'll be porting in a lot of video content, a lot of coverage coming up from this coming up weekend's event, everything from the next San Diego Comic-Cons, you name it, and everything in between. We'll be closing out the episode here shortly. Frank, I wanted to thank you for joining us and coming on the show.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
We'll bring you on again here soon. For people that joining us before we wrap up the broadcast here, my name is Owen Cotter. You're watching SciFiction on every single social media network we can connect this thing to. YouTube at SciFiction Official, Facebook, SciFiction COM, Twitch at SciFiction COM, and Twitter, which is not X, like X-Men, at SciFiction. And TikTok, we're also on TikTok at SciFiction. Feel free to follow us there. It's a lot of stuff we post on there as well at the events, live streams, all that. We're working on getting a way where we can bring this also on the TikTok for the simulcast as well. Well, Frank, I want to tell you, thank you so much for joining us. We will be coming to you next week. I'll see you next week, buddy.
I cannot wait.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye. Well, this is Owen Cotter. We just wrapped up the broadcast here. I want to thank all of our listeners for listening in. If you're on Subspace Radio Network, this is episode 68 for SciFiction Radio, approaching 70. 2 more episodes, it'll be 70. We are looking for guests to join us on the broadcast, as well as on the radio show at iHeartRadio for Subspace Radio Network. So if you'd like to be a guest, feel free to contact us on our Facebook page. Is probably the best place. At SciFiction.com, send us a little message and we'll get back to you really quick. We usually respond within the day, give or take a little less. And we're going to come to you from Biloxi, Mississippi next week, March 1st through the 3rd, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum for CoastCon. So if you want to find out more information about that, go to coastcon.org. My name is Owen Cotter. You're watching SciFiction on all the streaming channels, episode 68 for SciFiction Radio. Have a beautiful weekend. Signing off.